Welcome to Yoga Stretch. My name is Katie. Today we're going to focus on balancing. Balancing is very important in our daily lives because it helps us to do other exercises like walking, running, swimming, cycling and other activities. And of course daily living. So we do need to practice our balance every day. So let's focus on that today. Now I want you to stand up nice and tall in a mountain pose. So lift the rib cage up, draw up your spine nice and tall, imagine the crown of the head is drawing up to the ceiling, and as you do that, your hips and your waist should come into line. So if I turn sideways, you might be able to see a little pelvic tilt as I lift my spine up. So bottom of hips slightly forward or back to line up the hips. So buttocks should be firm, waist firm, thighs firm. Feet together if they're not together already, right, so feet and ankles. Let's lift up the toes, spread them out and place them down. So let's lift the shoulders up, roll them back and down, and then spread the fingers apart. Have them nice and wide, then reach them down to the floor so the shoulders draw away from the ears and we stand nice and tall. Make sure your head is comfortable, just move your chin forward and backwards. See if you can balance your head on top of your spine comfortably. If you can, close your eyes and that will challenge your balance a little bit more. So can you notice any movement? Some of you might be very steady and others might just start to sway a little. Now it doesn't matter if you do sway. I want you to focus on how your balance is today. Now we're going to change our body weight. So move the body weight forward so your toes squeeze into the mat. And then come upright again and lean back. Now be careful when you lean back not to go too far. Now can you feel your thighs tighten as you lean back? Now lift yourselves up nice and tall. We're going to lean to one side. Can you feel the outer edge of the foot press down firmly to keep you up? Bring yourself back to the center and lean to the other side to the point where your foot tightens and then lift up. Let's take 3 breaths into our rib cage, front and back. Now bring your breath right down to your belly. Breathe as much air as you can into your lungs. Beautiful. Now I'm going to turn sideways and we've got a sun salute. So join me, take a deep breath in, sun salute, open the chest, reach up if you can, gaze up and breathe out, forward fold, try to keep a nice flat back to halfway down, then round it out. Fingers to floor, chin to chest. Breathe in, flat back. Now you may wish to walk your fingers just under your shoulders, shoulders towards hips, draw the waist up. Breathe out, forward fold, then step back to a plank. Now from plank, we're going to lower ourselves down with our knees and chest. Bring your arms to your sides, palms facing down. Fronts of shoulders on the floor and chin on the floor. This is our locust warm-up. So tuck your toes under, squeeze your buttocks, lift your hips and walk your toes a little closer, lifting up the hips as high as is comfortable. Take 3 breaths here. And then slowly lower yourself down. Flatten the feet and let's bring the hands just under the chest. Now get those elbows to hug the rib cage. Don't let them wing out to the side. Breathe in, cobra. Extend those arms into a high cobra and then tuck the toes under. Lift the hips up into down dog. Now we want those feet just a little wider than hips and the wrists in line with the feet. Spread your fingers out wide. Try to touch the outer edge of your mat with your little fingers. Lower your head down in line with your arms. Now let's draw the navel up, lift the hips up, come onto the toes and breathe out. Lower those heels down. Can we feel the stretch in the ankles and calves? Breathe in, lift up nice and tall, and breathe out, lower your heels down. Lifting up towards the ceiling with the hips, and breathe out, lower the heels down. It's okay to have bent knees. And if your heels don't quite reach the floor, that's okay too. Now slide your shoulders towards your hips, right away from the ears, and bring your chest a little closer to thighs. Press the base of the thumb and index finger firmly down. So you should feel and lengthen through the arms, and you'll feel the inside of your arms right up to your neck working, as well as the back of the upper arms. Let's take 3 breaths here into the front and back of the rib cage. Beautiful. Let's take a walk with our feet now to our hands. Hold the elbows, relax the upper body down, now chin to chest, have the knees bent. You get a better stretch in the backs of your legs with the knees a little bit bent. Put the weight evenly through the feet, pull the tummy up, let the upper body hang down a little more. Chin to chest to stretch the back of the neck. And let's move our elbows from side to side just gently, feeling that stretch right into the lower back, the mid-back, and the back of the neck. So as we move our elbows from side to side, we can feel a stretch in one side of our back and then the other. And bring yourself to a standstill. Let's move the head forward and backward in a yes movement, and side to side in a no movement. Beautiful. Then lower your hands down, and let's take a deep breath in, sun salute, lift right up. And breathe out, hands down to chest. Deep breath in and out. Lovely. Lower your arms down and turn and face. And I'll turn and face the front. Now from here, we're going to do a little bit of balance. We've got 2 balances. One is an eagle pose and one is a star pose. So let's start with a nice tall spine in mountain pose. Take a deep breath in, sun salute. Reach your arms up, open your rib cage, palms together, and breathe out, hands to chest, bring yourself down to chair pose. Now draw the waist in, push the hips back, shoulders down. Make sure the lower back is comfortable. You can tuck your tail slightly between your legs to lengthen through that lower spine. Keep your spine nice and long though. Take 3 breaths here. Now roll your right foot forward, cross it over the left leg for eagle legs. Extend your arms forward and wrap the right arm around the left, bend elbows, level 1, hands on shoulders. Level 2, backs of hands together. Level 3, palms together, wrap thumbs around. Now with your legs, you can lift up your foot, rest it on the calf, or wrap your toes around your calf, and you can stay up nice and high, or if you're feeling quite balanced, float your elbows down towards your knees. Take 3 breaths into your rib cage, front and back. Now breathe in and lift up. Unwrap those legs, unwrap the arms and bring them out into a T position. Take the left leg out to the side. We've got a star pose balance. So let's lift up, lift the foot. That's it, beautiful. Now we're going to turn our gaze to the thumb where the leg is lifted. Let's take 3 breaths here. Use your breath to challenge your balance. Fill up the rib cage and bring the breath down to the belly. And lower your hands and your leg down. Let's do that again to the other side. Take a deep breath in, lift the arms up, stretch those arms up to the ceiling. Stretch stretch the rib cage and breathe out. Hands to chest, draw the waist in, sit right back into chair pose. Take 3 breaths here. Press those knees together. Make sure they're nice and even and behind your toes. Breathe down to the belly and into the rib cage. Now let's roll our left foot forward, cross it over the right, and then extend your arms forward, wrap your left arm around the right, and here you can place your hands on your shoulders, backs of hands together or palms together. Make sure you're doing the same as you did on the other side. Your foot can be on the floor or lifted. Wrap your toes even around your calf. Stay a little higher or float your elbows down to your knee. Now let's take 3 breaths here. And then lifting up, keep nice and steady, unwrap the foot, place it down, widen the arms, star pose. Bring your leg out to the side and lift up. So reach the fingers out, stretch the arms, stretch into the legs. Turn your gaze to your thumb if you can, the same side as your leg is lifted. Breathe around your rib cage to challenge your balance. Bring your breath down to your belly. Lower your foot down and lower your hands down. That's beautiful. Let's take a walk. All right, staying up nice and tall. Now we're going to step or jump our feet out. So you can either step your feet out to a nice wide leg position. You can toe heel your feet out to a nice wide leg position. Or you can join me with a jump. Now just a refresher on jumping. If you jump, you need to load the spring in your hips. Bend down, jump out and bend down. So you might think you don't need to bend your knees, but that is how you release tension out of the knees when you land. So bend the knees, jump and bend the knees to land. And we have no impact through our feet and our knees from landing on the floor. Let's try that together. Lift the rib cage up, hands to chest and elbows to shoulder height. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Bend the knees, jump the legs out and bring the arms out. Beautiful. You can heel toe your feet a little bit wider if you want to. All right, let's rotate the palms forward. Breathe in, lift the rib cage. Breathe out, bending forwards. Soften those knees. Keep that waist lifted. Lift the arms a little to hug the shoulder blades together. And then let's rotate. So we're going to rotate like an aeroplane. Now you can have your hand on the floor under your chest or continue to rotate. Place the hand near the opposite foot or hold the ankle with the hand. Pull the tummy in, lift the hips up. Make sure that the weight is evenly through your feet. Other hand reaching up to the ceiling. Anytime your arm gets tired, place your hand on your hip or place it behind your back. Okay, let's take 3 breaths here. And let's start to slowly rotate back the other way with our aeroplane wings, hand under chest or hand near the opposite foot, or hold the ankle, reach the arm up, look sideways. Now find out where your weight is in your feet. If it's in your heels, rock the body weight forward into the fronts of the feet. Pull the tummy up, keep the shoulders away from ears. Take 3 breaths here. Now bring that hand down and we're going to do a wide leg down dog. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me more easily. So walk the hands forward, And then look between your legs, bring your chest towards your thighs. So the weight should be in the heels, the middle of the feet. If it's in the heels, I want you to move the body weight a little bit forward into the middle of the foot. Pull the tummy up, lift the hips up, line the head up with the arms. Now shoulders away from ears. So if they're up around the ears, we get this rounded look in our shoulders. So I want you to slide them towards the hips to flatten the back down. Now we're engaging our back muscles. Now take 3 breaths here, right around your rib cage. Okay, now we're going to look forward and walk our hands back, just one handprint, and then I want you to toe heel your feet in a bit closer, or step your feet in, then walk your feet back to plank. Now, if you want to do a plank with your knees on the floor, that's fine. Otherwise, lift your knees up, push through your heels, tighten the calves and the thighs. Make sure your wrists are directly under the shoulders. Now, squeeze your buttocks together so the waist opens and, the hips open. Pull the tummy up, lower the rib cage a little so the mid-back is nice and flat and the shoulder blades are flat on the back. Elbows should be a little bit soft and shoulders comfortable. Take 3 breaths here. Breathe into that rib cage, front and back. If you can, come down to your elbows in elbow plank, otherwise knees go to floor. From here we're going into dolphin. So let's look between our legs, pull the tummy up, lift the hips up and walk the feet a little closer to elbows. So it's like a down. Now I want you to bring your shoulders up towards your hips, away from ears, so the back is switched on. Move your chest towards your thighs. If your legs are a little bit too far away, your head is going to be on the floor. So walk them a bit closer, even if you have to bend your knees. Your head should not be on the floor. So let's take 3 big breaths into the rib cage. Pressing nice and firmly through the elbows into the floor. Okay, beautiful. So let's walk those feet back and look between the fists, squeeze the buttocks, lower the waist down. Otherwise, just join me. Sphinx pose. So elbows in line with shoulders, wrists in line with elbows. Spread your fingers out as much as you can. Now press the hips down. Now if you want to find this yoga stretch, you do need to switch on around your hips and your legs. Okay, so let's squeeze the buttocks together, press the hips down to the floor, lengthen the legs and press the tops of the feet in the floor. So we feel our thighs tighten and probably our shins leave the floor. Now let's lift the spine up nice and tall, open the shoulders, flatten the shoulder blades onto the back. Okay, so we're looking forward. Now we can lift our chin, we can look forward. First of all, let's find that stretch. So draw the elbows back and draw the chest forward between the arms. You should feel a stretch from your navel right up to your chest. Now you can lift your chin and get a neck stretch. Otherwise you can just lower your chin a little and find a comfortable head position. Let's take 3 breaths into the front of the body. Okay, let's lay down. You can put your chin on the floor. This time we have a locust. So you can place the hands, stack them on your lower back. And let's press the hips down again. Squeeze the buttocks together, lift the tummy up. Now lift the legs, lift the chest. And if you can, link the fingers, press palms together and lift the arms. Really reach those legs out, stretch the legs out. Look forward or tuck your chin in, lengthen through the spine. Take 3 breaths here. Lower yourself down, bring your hands under your chest, elbows glued to the side of your body. Breathe in, cobra, high cobra, toes together, knees wide, and let's rest in a child's pose. Now you can have your arms by your sides if you feel that your shoulders need a rest. Breathe into your back and your lower back. So pull your tummy up and tuck your tail between your legs, so you're bringing the bottom of the hips forward, sit on your heels. And let's breathe into the mid back and the lower back. Feel the back stretch out with your breath. Okay, let's extend those arms forward and lift up into a cat. Now we have a plank, so we're going back into our plank and we're going to do a side plank as well. So again, if you find plank a little bit too strong, you can start off in a cat position or join me in plank. We're going to drop our heels down behind us, so rotate your feet, lower the heels down, lift the hand up. That's it, we're in our full side plank. If this is a little bit strong for your shoulders or your wrists, place your knee down in gate pose. Now, if you're in gate pose or side plank, you can lift your leg up. Now let's take 3 breaths here. Now lower your top leg down. If you are in side plank, I want you to bring your knee to the floor in gate pose. For those in gate pose, stay where you are and let's lift up onto our knee. So you may have to rotate the kneeling foot so you've got some balance. We're going to link our fingers, turn the hands inside out into a Venus lock. Let's breathe in, reach up, breathe out, bend to the side. Chin drop to chest, lengthen through the back of the neck. Take 3 breaths into the ribs that are open. And then lifting up, we're going to bring our hands back down to the floor and change sides. So back into our plank or our cat. Roll heels to the other side and lift the hand up, side plank. Option is gate pose to protect shoulders and wrists. Top leg lifts. Let's take 3 breaths into the top side of the body. Lower your top leg down, lower your bottom knee down if it's lifted. Now lift up into a kneeling position, bottom foot rotates out. And let's bring the arms straight up over the head, link the fingers, turn them inside out, and reach up as we breathe in, breathe out, bend to the side. Take 3 breaths into the rib cage that's open. Beautiful, let's lift up, windmill the hands back down to the floor, come into down dog. And let's just move from side to side, loosen up around the hips and the shoulders. And let's take either a walk or a lunge or crouch and jump your feet between your hands. Flat back, forward fold, and a deep breath in, sun salute. And breathe out, hands down to chest. Deep breath in and out. Beautiful. Lower your hands down. And just pause in mountain pose. Okay, now let's place our hands on our hips. And we're going to bend our knees, pull the waist in, and just take a small chair pose. Roll the right foot forward, tighten the waist, lift the foot, toes forward and push through the heel. You can step back or lunge back with me into high lunge. And we're going to lift our arms up, breathe in. Lift your arms up nice and high, roll the shoulders back, reach up. Anytime your arms feel uncomfortable, place your hands on your hips. You can also bend your elbows if that helps. Breathe into the belly. Feel the stretch around the front of the body. Now breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, hands to chest in prayer. We've got a warrior three. So if your leg is too far back, just jump it forward a little bit, because when we lift up, we're going to use the front leg quite strongly. So leaning forward for level one. Level two, lift your foot up. And level three, lift your leg up to hip height and straighten your leg. Reach your back foot away. And now you can keep your hands at chest or reach them out to the sides in aeroplane. So hug the shoulder blades together. Pull the tummy up, look directly at the floor. Toes point to floor, hips are square, are even. Let's take 3 breaths here. Now, lower the back foot down. Lift the arms up into high lunge, wide prayer, bend one elbow. So we're stretching the back of that arm. And then we're going to lean to the side. So the stretch is in the side of the body. This is wonderful for your balance. So try and keep your back heel lifted, toes pointing forward, back toes point forward. Legs are hip width apart. That is going to give you your balance. 3 breaths into the side. And then lifting up. Beautiful. Now we're going to extend those arms up, breathe in, reach up and breathe out. Elbow, opposite elbow to knee, other hand on hip, palm up with the elbow on your knee, close it into a fist, turn, look sideways. If you can, with the other hand to the ceiling. So try not to rest heavily on your knee. You want to lengthen through the spine, squeeze your buttocks together, which gives you a lot of strength around the hips, and you can rest lightly on your knee. Another deep breath in. Now lower that hand to the floor and the other hand down. Bring the back knee to the floor, flatten the foot. Now bring your foot forward a little. We're going to toe heel that foot a bit wider and take the hands inside the foot. Now you can slide this other leg back to get a stretch in the hips. You can bend your elbows or come down to elbows if you can get down there quite comfortably. Let your head hang down. Take 3 breaths into your hip. Now lower your knee out to the side so the sole of the foot faces your fingers. And take 3 more breaths in this position. We're going to stretch the inner thigh here. Now let's flatten that foot down on the floor. And we're going to take our hand outside that foot, heel toe your foot back into position. Tuck the back toe under, front foot back into down dog. Now let's rock those hips from side to side, loosening up around the shoulders and the hips. Keep that tummy lifted and let's crouch. You can walk, lunge or take a light jump. So remember, bend your knees to land. Lift your hips up. Let the head hang down. Deep breath in, sun salute. Lift right up and breathe out, hands down to chest. Deep breath in and out. Now place your hands back onto your hips and we're going to do the other side. So let's bend the knees, pull the tummy in, lift the foot up, toes forward, push through that heel. Now we want a high lunge so it doesn't go back too far. Toes down. Now make sure you put your foot down a hip width apart and you land on your toes. Lift your arms up, high lunge, wide prayer. Have you checked to see that your knee and ankle are lined up? This is also going to help your balance using that strong front leg. Roll the shoulders back and down, lift the rib cage, stretch the arms up and stretch your fingers out. Breathe down to the belly. 3 breaths. Now breathing in, reach up, breathe out, hands to chest in prayer. Warrior 3. Lean forward, put the body weight through the front foot. And if you can, we're going to lift the back foot up. Level 2 and level 3, leg to hip height. Straighten the standing leg, toes point to floor, hips are even. If you can, bring your arms out to the sides, pull the tummy up, lift the arms a little so the shoulder blades hug together. Let's take 3 breaths here. Now breathe in, breathe out. Lower the foot down, lift the arms up, high lunge. This time we're going to bend the other elbow and just hold the elbow in position for the stretch in the back of the arm, and then lean over to the side. And let's lift up again. Release those arms, breathe in, lift up, breathe out. Hands down to floor and lower your back knee down. Bring your front foot forward, sink into hips, and take the hand inside your foot, heel toe, your foot a bit wider. Let's bend the elbows, and if you can, go down to your elbows. And let the head hang down. Breathe into your hip, so bring your breath down to your belly and lower back, and the breath in will expand the hip out sideways. Now lower your knee out to the side, so we're getting now an inner thigh stretch as well as a hip stretch. Let the head hang down and take 3 breaths here. Now let's lower that foot down, take the hand outside the foot, and tuck the back toe under, down dog. So let's just rock from side to side. And rise up on the balls of the feet, pull the tummy up and lower the knees down into cat. Now we're going to do a balance in our cat shoulder stretch. So let's take the arm on the side out. So taking that right arm out to the side and then breathe out, bring the arm underneath the other arm. So the shoulder is nice and comfortable on the floor and arm extended. Now roll your temple to the floor, so the best head position is just the temple down. You can stay here for your shoulder stretch, or you can extend your leg out, toes on the floor. So push it through that heel, that's it, nice firm waist, and lift that leg up for level 3. If you're feeling very balanced today, lift your top arm up to the ceiling. Make sure you're comfortable, holding strong. This is really going to strengthen your balancing muscles. Let's take 3 breaths here. Now lower your toes down, lower your hand down and lower your knee down. Let's lift up and try the other side. Arm extends out, breathe in, breathe out, thread it underneath the other arm, shoulder down and temple down. Level 2, slide your leg away, toes on the floor. Now if you can, lift that leg up to hip height, taking your time to get into your balance. Now when you're feeling steady, lift the other hand up to the ceiling. Let's hold this for 3 breaths. Breathe around the rib cage, challenge your body. It's going to help you to balance. Okay, now lower your hand down, lower your knee down, and lift back up into a cat. Now walk your hands forward, one hand print, down dog. Lift the hips up. So just move your down dog around a little so you can loosen up in the shoulders and the hips. And step the feet together. Let's lift the right leg up, three-leg dog. Squeeze your buttocks, toes point to floor. Now often people rotate the foot out and they're using their hip. So I want you to try not to use your hip and just use your buttocks strength. And gradually your buttocks will get nice and strong and hold your leg up high. Bring your chest to your thighs and take 3 breaths here. Breathe in and breathe out, lunging forward between your hands. Lower your back heel down so heels are lined up, and we can balance beautifully in our warrior two. Windmill your arm up and over, and adjust your feet. I don't mind if you adjust your feet anytime. Adjust your body anytime. I'd rather you get into a good stretch than try to put your feet and arms into a perfect position and feel immovable. Okay, tail under, tummy in. Lift the rib cage and shoulders down. Turn your gaze over your front middle finger and just look down at your front knee. Is it in line with the ankle? Let's take 3 breaths here, right into the rib cage. Now we've got a side angle pose. Breathe in, reach forward, push your hip back, reach your arm forward, elbow on knee, palm up, close it into a fist. Lift the other arm up. We're just going to reach it up to the ceiling today, and I want you to rest lightly on your knee. So that's going to depend on what you're doing with your hip. If your hip is lifted, you're probably going to be resting sort of like this position, and your arm might be out here. So to straighten up, we want to draw the shoulder into the shoulder pocket, reach the arm up, then try to drop the hip down a little. Quite challenging. So just build yourself up to it, and your elbow should be quite light on your knee. Let's take 3 breaths. Now, reaching up, you can bring your arm behind your back to rest, half bind. You can hold your thigh. You can also join me in full bind. Reaching your arm between your legs, clasp your fingers, slide them over your buttocks. Try to get your chest sideways. Take 3 breaths here. And then release, lifting up. Proud warrior. Now line up your head with your spine. Try not to look past your arm. Just look at your arm. Now you can look directly forward or lift your head up, gaze at your palm. You can arch back a little further if your back is nice and strong. So let's take 3 breaths into the belly. Now in all of these warrior positions, we are challenging our balance. So I want you to make sure you're breathing nice and deeply into the rib cage and into the belly. Okay, now we're coming back to warrior two and straighten the front leg. If your legs feel a little bit too wide for triangle, you can always bring your feet a little bit closer. But remember to keep your feet at least 1 metre apart so you can get a stretch into those legs. Now let's push the hip to the side and reach the arm forward as far as we can. Reach and then windmill the arm into position. Eventually we'll get down to the floor. Some of you probably already have got to the floor. So I don't want you to reach down once you've got your torso in position and your arms have windmilled into position. So wherever you landed is where your body is today. So tail between the legs. Now tighten your front thigh, rotate forwards and upwards, and you can squeeze your buttocks together when you get that leg in the right position. The front of the foot should be flat on the floor. Chin tucked in, arms in a T position. Let's take 3 breaths in the top side of the body. Okay, now we're going to tighten our tummy, squeeze our buttocks, take the arm, bottom arm outside the leg, and bring ourselves into a T position. Now try and get the hips straight. If you can't quite do it, adjust your feet. Hips nice and straight, aeroplane wings. We're in a pyramid, so slide shoulders towards hips, hug the shoulder blades together. Quite a strong position, and perhaps we can go a little lower than we did previously with our hands on the hips. Okay, let's continue to rotate. Pull the tummy in, squeeze the buttocks together, rotate through your rib cage on your out breath. Reverse triangle. Top hand can be on the hip, or you can reach it up to the ceiling. Let's take 3 breaths here. And let's rotate back to our T position, pyramid position with windmill arms or aeroplane wings. And then place the hands on the floor. Front foot goes back into down dog. Release your neck, your back, your arm. Okay, let's step our feet together again and lift the left leg up, 3-leg dog. Toes point to floor, tighten your tummy, move your chest towards your thighs and lengthen through the arms, really flattening the back down. Let's take 3 breaths. Breathe in and breathe out. Lunging forward. Lower the back heel down so the heels are lined up. Windmill your arm up and over. Warrior 2. Shoulders are down, rib cage lifts. Squeeze your buttocks, tummy firm. And turn your gaze over your front middle finger. Let's take 3 breaths here. Now breathe in, reach forward as far as you can, elbow on knee, palm facing up, turn it into a fist. Lift the other hand up. You can watch as you lift your hand up and then turn your head to a position that's comfortable for you. Shoulders away from ears. Lower your head down if you can so you're lightly resting on your knee. Let's take 3 breaths here. Expand the rib cage front and back. Fill up your lungs with air as much as you can. Let's stretch around the rib cage. Take the top arm, place it behind the back. You can hold your thigh if you can reach. Shoulders draw downwards and hug together. Tummy in. Or you can go to level 2, full bind. Press shoulder into knee. Look sideways. Take 3 breaths here. Okay, let's lift up. Back to, or into our proud warrior. Shoulders are down. Head in line with spine. Keep that front knee bent. Looking forward or gazing at the palm. Let's breathe down to that belly. 3 breaths. Straighten your front leg. Come into triangle preparation position. And if your legs feel a little bit wide, let's bring them in a bit. And then breathe in, reach forward as far as you can and breathe out. Windmill down. Try not to reach down to the floor if you didn't make it the first time. Tail between the legs, tummy in, lengthen through the spine, shoulders away from ears. Take 3 breaths. Oh, now let's get that bottom front thigh rotated sideways and upwards. Can we feel the buttocks squeeze together now? Take 3 breaths into the top side of the body. Now, we've got an aeroplane, so let's take the hand outside that front leg. Breathe in and breathe out. Windmill your arms into aeroplane wings. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, lift the tummy, lengthen through the spine, make sure your hips are even. Hug the shoulder blades together, so we've really got a strong back. Take 3 breaths here. And then breathe in, pull your tummy in, squeeze your buttocks together, rotate through your rib cage. On your out breath, reverse warrior 2. Reverse triangle. Take your top hand, can be on your hip. Take 3 breaths here. Beautiful. Take the hand from out there, place the hands on the floor, front foot back into down dog. Now just move your down dog, loosen up a little bit around the shoulders and hips. Rise up on the balls of the feet, come down to knees, and let's go into child's pose. Take a nice big stretch through the arms. Breathe into the back. 3 big breaths. And lift back up into a cat position. Now we're going to slide our one knee forward and sit on the heel. Slide the other leg back. So we're getting a nice stretch into the hips. Now this is an interesting balance. We're going to do a twist. So I want you to walk your one hand onto your knee and then see if you can lift yourself up. You can use this hand to help lift you. Bring the other arm behind the back and let's see if we can hold the elbow with the hand. Now bend the elbow, shoulders draw down. If you can't quite reach, it doesn't matter. Now we're going to turn our gaze towards our back foot. Shoulders draw down, rib cage lifts. Now stay steady and let's take 3 breaths here. Right down to your belly, fill up your rib cage. Okay, let's turn our gaze the other way. So slide your hand closer to your hip and rotate. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then bring yourself back to the front. Hands on the floor, slide your front knee back and bring the other knee forward. Sit on your heel. Take the same hand as knee, push into that knee and lift up. Other hand comes behind the back, hold the elbow. If you can, bend your elbow, hold it. If you can't manage, just hand behind the back is fine. We're going to turn our gaze, draw the shoulders down, rotate, look towards your back foot. Take 3 breaths here. So we should be feeling a stretch in the side of our back. Or a contraction in the side of our back. It's working quite strongly. And now let's turn our gaze the other way. So slide your hand to your hip, rotate around the other way. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then looking forward, place the hands on the floor, bring the other knee forward. If you can, cross the ankles, take a seat. Otherwise, legs out to sides. Take the hands behind the knees, pull the tummy in and round the back out. Lower yourself to the floor. Now we're going to start off with a crocodile twist. Now, for this one, we're going to bring our arms into a T position. Now, make sure the shoulder blades are flat and the chest is open. Take one leg, cross it over the other. Now the top leg, we're going to roll that hip up to the ceiling and turn our head the opposite way. Shoulder blades should be flat on the floor. Now let's breathe into the chest that's stretching. That's the chest that's the same direction as your head is turned. Take 3 more breaths down to the belly. Now roll onto your back again and let's change the cross of the legs. Other ankle crosses over. Now let's roll to the side, lift that same hip up and make sure the shoulder blades are flat and head turned opposite way. Quite a strong twist. Let's breathe into the chest that's open. Another 2 more breaths. And roll onto your back. Walk your feet to the end position now. Bring your knees to your chest, just one at a time. Lick your fingers, rest the palms on the knees, relax the shoulders down. Draw the navel down. And let's lift our legs up. Now draw the waist down. Make sure your chest is open, shoulder blades are flat. Hands can be by the sides, backs of legs, or over the head. Let's rotate our ankles. And rotate them back around the other way. Now bring those knees back to chest. And let's just rock from side to side on that lower back. Keep the navel drawn down so the lower back is flat on the floor. Then place your feet down on the mat and bring them as wide as your mat. Drop your knees inward. Take your left hand on your heart center, right hand on the belly, and relax those elbows to the floor. Let's take 3 breaths into the belly. Okay, let's extend those legs. Bring your hands to your sides, palms up. Make sure the chest is open, shoulder blades are flat. Let's roll the thighs outwards, give them a little shake to loosen them up. Breathe down to the belly. Expand your belly out with each breath. Now you can stay in your relaxation for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes or however long you like. Just turn off the video and when you're ready, turn it back on again to finish. Otherwise, stay with me and we'll start to breathe down to our belly again and move our fingers and toes. And walk your feet to the end position. Roll over to your side. Rest your head on your hand. Take a few breaths here. Lift yourself up into a seated position, resting hands on knees or in the lap. Lift your ribcage up nice and tall and relax the shoulders down. Let's take a deep breath in, lifting the arms above the head in prayer. And breathe out, thumbs to heart center, and just drop your chin slightly down. Breathe around your ribcage. And Bring your breath down to your belly, into the rib cage, shoulders and back, then breathe out. And again, breathe into your belly, rib cage, shoulders and back, and breathe out. Take one more deep breath at your own pace. And have a peaceful heart and a peaceful mind and a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. And if you like the video, please press like and make a comment. Subscribe to my channel and then you'll get regular updates on the new videos coming out. Thank you for joining me today.